Hello everyone, this is Foolish Nobody is Talking. Today, in today videos, I'm going to talk about a theme that is a bit controversial. This theme is death. Um, let's start straight away. Death is a taboo which most of the people don't want to talk about. I feel like it's mostly due to the fear and anxiety it may bring in one people's mind and heart. So I think the best option is to distract yourself from not thinking about that. I mean, um, if you think rationally about that, it means only in the end of life, of existence of an organism or creature. And I feel like people isn't scared about that itself, but what happens after, because no one truly know, right? So it's basically not the second that came visit to you that is scaring, but the second after. But I want to raise a question to you. That is wrong and unfair. Basically, what's the point of being scared? I mean, that it happened in the past, it happened in the present, even right now, millions of people are dying, and it will happen to me, to you, who are watching, everyone in the future. So I think no matter if a person is scared or not, what is certain is that one day we all dance with the death. As for me, to be honest, I don't think I'm scared, but it's more like I don't care or I don't mind. It's like I found that boring in a certain way, or more like I think it's an obstacle that I can overcome, something like a limit that I want to remove, but I can't. Um, Basically, imagine if no one will or can die. What we as a human race we can accomplish or achieve, just because we live longer lives and we have more time to develop or to think about how to solve or handle certain situation or matters. To be honest, it can lead also toward worse situation, of course. In general, if you have watched my previous video, you understand that I have a pessimistic view, or rather, I would say cynic view of the world and of the people. So to me, that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the more I grow older, the more I think it's like the right punishment or solution uh, for the sins we committed in our life, and that can truly be forgiven, even by God, I would say. Um, I think everyone, even you, have heard at least once in your life that exists in order to give life a meaning. Uh, mm, it's uh, it's basically something common to say, to 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 decrease, to reduce the feeling of being scared towards death. So I think a part of me could also partially agree. Basically, it's because um, when we understand we have a time limit to our life, we can be basically more motivated to reach our goals. So it's a proper motivation in a certain way. But to be honest, I feel like it also is a sort of excuse or explanation. People used to feel better or less scared, anxious towards death itself. It feels like a way to accept in a passive way. So I have to disagree. I mean, I don't think it serves that to realize that life is much more than what we think, or give life a certain value, something to take care of. I want to raise a question to you. Will it really serve that to give you a motivation to live? If that didn't exist, what would you use to keep going forward? So I want to know from you, and write down below in the comment. Um, Another point I want to cover regards the death of losing loved ones, and then I also want to treat a talk about the death of animals, of course, to raise a question to you. Before talking about this, I want to say also that, of course, that seems tragic to almost everyone, but I think life and living is more tragic in itself, and I find ironic. Everyone thinks everyone think that is the end, where basically the end may begin even in our lifetime, and doesn't allow to move on. So basically we can be dead inside even when we are alive outside. I would say. Let's move on. First thing first, I'm pretty sure that even now someone is feeling the loss of a loved one, and it is something that we all have in common and experience in our life, of course. Someone may lose a parent, a brother, a sister, a friend, a dog, a cat, and so on. And we have also in common the feeling we prove in face of the death. Basically, they are all negative feelings, um, despair, sadness, hate, feeling lost. Feels like life doesn't have essence anymore. Basically, what I want to say is if you have if you have loved someone deeply, I think that is very normal to feel in this way. A tragic deep feeling that allow us to grow, to understand how reality works. But if I ask you, what do you feel like when you read about the death of someone you doesn't know really well, or not at all? Maybe a neighbor, a friend of your dad or mom, a boy in a car accident, and so on. Or even when you heard about the death of someone in television or on social media. When you hear about a murder, a war that is something far away from you, and so on. Probably you think, I'm sorry, you may feel pity, compassion, and that's all. But I think you may think and wish that what you are reading about it didn't really happen, or don't happen, or doesn't happen. So I think, to be honest, you don't really care about it if you feel or think properly. And I mean, in a certain way, it is understandable. After all, it doesn't touch you or involve you to a certain degree. To put simply, it's not your affair, and it doesn't happen to you or your loved ones. So it's in a certain way, it's fine. So I want to ask you, what's the difference between that life you are hearing about and your life, or that of someone you love or care about? After all, I would say a life is a life. One life isn't better than another. So, what is so bad about that? Lately, I wish to live in order to laugh in face of the death. I begin to find everything so ironically tragic, to the point that I'm relieved in knowing that one day I will die. No one will remember me or remember you, and it feels like I never have been existed. So in a certain way, I think it's such a relief. When I say this, don't get me wrong, I don't want to die right now, or I have feelings of wanting to kill me, or I'm feeling depressed, or I have depression, or any mental illness. I love my life, but I think I have come to a compromise, and also I have come to a deeper understanding of me. So if I have to choose, it's more like I'm serene, content, not happy, but it's okay, than sad or depressed. So I feel like I have been freed by this burden, by these chains that I have worn for basically most of my life, and for a long time. I feel like I'm truly like myself, and so from a certain point of view, I appreciate and respect that and dead. So to put simply, I prefer to dance if I have to make a comparison. I prefer to dance for 5 minutes with that. And I imagine this sign. She wore a long dress like in the Victorian era, and we are in this giant hall, and there is an orchestra who is playing a beautiful tragic waltz, and around us there are tens of couple, but we are basically in our isolated world. So I have to say that if you truly understand, live fully these 5 minutes and ends all, you may truly appreciate life and not complain about stupid things. So it's more satisfying this way than living like you will never understand what lies ahead you, or like you are in a cage, and all of a sudden when they don't feed you anymore, you die without understanding or understand why. So not knowing nothing at all. I mean, I couldn't help but feel this way, and I know I may sound boring in repeating this, but it is not that I'm depressed or something like that. It's more like I don't want to fool myself pretending like that doesn't exist and life is beautiful and it is limitless. I think I refuse to think in this way from deeply from my core. So, like I said before, the example I talked about losing someone, it may extend, of course, to the animals. If you have a dog or cat or whatever animal, over the course of time you develop certain feelings, of course, and form with this creature a natural bond. So when it dies, you feel suddenly feel sad because it's of course a part of your family. But it isn't hypocritical for you to not feel this way when you eat at the same time meat, fish, and so on. I mean, if we advocate for treat animals like humans, and of course I totally agree, because we have to treat animal with care and emotion, because they prove these feelings. Also, um, the animals prove these feelings towards them and towards us. So I want to ask, why do we continue to act this way? Basically, what I mean is that life of your dog should be equal to that of the chicken you eat every day. And it's really a paradox. In your eyes and in your house, life and death exist, and one person didn't really think about this. Probably right now someone is cuddling or hugging their animal, but at the same time they are eating a piece of meat, for example. And I think in a certain way it is really crazy and twisted. Anyway, let's move on towards the end of the video. This part is a bit random. Probably many of you won't understand completely, but I think it's fine also. This part is more like a reminder to myself on how I feel in these days. In these days I'm recording this video, of course. These days I realized that in general most of the people isn't affected by the death on a deeper level, because there is the possibility of the feeling her thanks to one concept, and that is legacy. Basically, many people may think when someone dies, that's all, but of course I think there is a proper motivation to the people to keep going, to live on, and it is a fact, and that is the fact that you that your child, your future generation can carry on your legacy. Basically, when one has a child or children, a part of you continue to live. Technically, I would say from a biological point of view, DNA, so on, pass to your children, and obviously it's similar. The DNA is similar, and a part of you is trasmitted to your children, to your nephew, e così, so on. Basically, this is proven by the fact that your children may have the same hair color or the same hair color or the same hair color, the same eyes, and so on. I have to say that they are connected, so one could say that no one really dies, but lives on from generation to generation. And I would say I can deny it. It is a fact. But I said before, here I'm talking how I feel. So basically, I'm pretty sure I don't want to have children. I'm not talking about if I like or not like children, or I would like to have, or if I could afford a support financially or emotionally, or take good care of them. It's more like I feel that with my life I would handle, and I have to write basically the word end to this story that is not also my story, my journey, but if you think about it, also the story and the journey of your father, your grandfather, your mother, your grandmother, and the further generation. So it is a story basically that has continued for a long time, and what I would say it is that from now on till the last second of my life, or the life that I have to live, I want to put the right ending to my story. And I think that that's all for today's video. That's it. Bye, and bye bye, and stay alive.